We are in chapter 9, section 3 today, except it still says 3-3 because they got labeled wrong.
Wait, what?
They still say 3-3 because they got labeled wrong.
Wait, my mom said she'll watch this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So say hi, Mom.
So say hi, Mom.
Hi, Nate's mom.
Hi, Nate's mom.
Hi.
All right, so
Hi.
9-3 is your homework. If we get done quickly, we will solve. Check it out. 2 bank offers.
Whoa, this bank is giving out $10 gift cards for a minimal initial deposit. This one is offering cash back equal to 2% at the end of the year. Which do you suppose is the better deal? I'm not sure, but this one is a gift. That's got to count for something, right?
So, let's compare these 2 graphs. One bank is giving you a $10 gift card, which is extremely common. Like we talked about this morning, a lot of banks want to give you gift cards to try to win over your business. So, one bank is offering you a $10 gift card. You get that gift card, it happens once, boom, you're done. The other bank is offering you 2% of all your purchases. So, as you spend more money, you would get more money back as a reward.
We have to spend that money again. But is it?
Kind of. I mean, when you spend money, it's kind of assuming that you're paying it off. Like, and if you pay it off quickly, then you don't get charged interest. So which graph, which line do you think matches with which offer? Bank A is the $10 gift card. Bank B is going to be 2% of all your purchases. Olivia?
I think I don't know what I'm basing this off of, but I think that Bank A is the straight one.
Well, they're both straight.
I mean the flat one.
Ah, the horizontal line.
Yeah. And then
So,
Bank B is the tall one.
why would you say that? You said it's based off nothing, but it has to be based off something.
Maybe because Bank A, like when it gives you a $10 gift card, that doesn't really get you anywhere.
So this is $10. You get $10 no matter what. And sorry, I said this wrong. I said based off how much you spend. That 2% is based off how much you deposit. Come on, highlighter. So, as my deposit amount increases, the amount that I get back, that 2% extra, also increases. So that's why line 1 would be Bank B. Baylor?
Oh, wait. I think I'm just reading the graph wrong, but, yeah, I'm just reading the graph wrong. I thought that because it was like this, that you would, since you would be spending more and you would still get $10, that doesn't make any sense.
So let's say, and I know what this point is. So let's say right here is 50. Down here is $10, and we'll drop 25 too. So if you deposit $10 into the bank, what would be 2% of $10?
That would be
0.02 times 10 moves the decimal over once. 0.2 or 20 cents. If you spent 50 or deposited $50, 2% of $50 is $1. What, and by the way, this is not to scale. Not to scale. If this is $10 right here, we're trying to figure out how much would I need to deposit to get $10. Well, 10 would be my part. It's 2% of the whole, or of the deposit amount. I can just take 10 divided by 0.02. Do you know? Well, if I take this, divide by 0.02, one trick I can do is move both decimals, top and bottom, 2 places. So then I get 1,000 divided by 2, which is 500. So we would have to deposit $500 $100 to get a $10 reward. But if I deposit, let's say way out here, $1,000, what's 2% of $1,000? $20. So then, Bank B, I could make $20 or more and more and more as I deposit more and more.
Is that a bad minimum initial deposit of 20 cents? Is that bad?
Well, so they don't tell us what the minimal initial deposit is. They would probably say you can't just give us $10. If we're going to give you a $10 gift card, you can't only put $10 in the bank. So it might be like a minimum deposit of $100 or something like that. A lot of bank. So did I talk about the email I got from Chase?
No.
I got an email from Chase that said, "Hey, we'll give you a $250 gift card." Capital bold letters, and I was like, "Sweet." Click on it. Open it. If you open a new savings account with a minimum deposit, anyone want to guess what the minimum deposit was? $25,000. They were gonna give me. Hold on, we're gonna solve this because it's pretty absurd. And yeah, I hope a parent who works for Chase is watching this because that would be funny. $250 is the reward they want to give me, right? What percent is that if I deposit $25,000? Well, we could just take part divided by whole. 250 divided by 25,000. I can delete repeated zeros. So then I get 25 over 2,500. If I divide the top and the bottom by 25, I get 1 over 100. It's 1%. They wanted to give me a 1% cashback reward. Like gift card reward, essentially. Not cash, but yeah. And there were other stipulations, like the money has to stay in the account for a certain amount of time, blah, 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 all kinds of fine
So
print.
you don't get it automatically.
So when you see those offers, like, quick, do this, get a free gift card.
Yes.
Oh, don't trust it. You gotta look at what the specifications are.
They're messing with your money.
They are, and they're messing with your money. Shahib?
When you like doing the graph and
Shh, I can't hear Shahib.
like with the 50 and then how it equals to 1, I did like how I got 500 was like I added over 0 and I got
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for somebody to make that connection, so good job there. So, this is what we call our Perp formula. And it sounds like terrible grammar, but if you remember, I equals PERT. Say it with me. I equals PERT. What was that? I equals PERT. So here's why. When you're computing the amount of interest that you earn or the amount of interest that you owe, doesn't matter. You can compute them both the same way. Now, what we talked about this morning in foundations, that was compound interest. That's tomorrow's lesson. This is simple interest. This is interest that is based only on the principal amount of money that you either invest or borrow. So P here represents that principal amount. Principal, not as in the principal of the school, but it's spelled the same way. So pay attention, and Mrs. Goldering and I had this discussion, we had to look it up. Principal in financial terms is spelled the same as principal of the school, which you probably learned back when you had PAL versus PLE. The principal of the school is your PAL. Well, it's the same one for financial. So then, R is my interest rate. So we're told what the rate is. For example, 2% per year. That'd be our rate. T, time. This is where people like to make mistakes. Time has to. No ifs, ands, or buts. All day long has to be in years. If they give you months, you gotta convert it. Because simple interest is based off the amount of years it's been in the account. So if your time isn't years, say they give you 6 months, knock it off, right? 6 months is half a year, so you'd use half as your time. And then, might as well capture this before I shrink up any of those things. S just represents the amount of simple interest, which we actually use I because it's easier. S looks like 5. So that's why I make my 1 like this, so it doesn't look like an I. So I equals PERT. So if I get 2%, what's 2% of $100? Anyone? $2. So year 0. Now we're going to use year 0, which confuses a lot of people. Year 0 just means your starting point. You just began. It's been there for no time. From year 0 to year 1, I make 2%, so I make $2. Even though I made $2, my interest is still only calculated on the principal. So the next year, I still only make $2. The next year, I still only make $2. That's why it's simple. If the principal doesn't change, you always make the same amount of interest. Now, I know what your argument's going to be. You have more money in the account, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't it have 2% off?
But that's not your money.
But
The bank gave you that money, and here's the trick that somebody in the other class said. What if I take all my money back, like my $100 and that $2, and then put it all back in? Now my principal is $102. You're right. But if the bank gave you that $2 is not your principal amount. It's interest that you've earned. It does not make more interest. That's the difference between simple interest and compound interest.
so they track like your interest that you gain.
Yep. And they do not pay you for interest that you've
Okay,
made.
what if you get $2 interest and you take all the money out and you put $2 interest into your bank or whatever?
Yeah, if you take it out and put it back in, now it's your money. Now it's part of your principal because you put it in.
Then why won't it be one of
Because the bank's job is not to make you money. The bank's job is to make them money. And to keep you happy, they give you your $2. But they're not going to give you extra money the next year because they gave you money the year before. That's why it's simple. I know it's not like you're thinking about it too much as like, but wait, that's not fair. Like that's not right. You're absolutely right. It shouldn't work like that, but it does. That's the difference between simple and compound interest. Compound interest, you'd make money off that $2, and that's what we're looking at tomorrow.
So compound's better.
Compound's better. If it's your investment, compound is better. If you're like using a credit card, you'd rather it be simple interest. But a lot of credit cards are compound interest. It compounds all the money in the account that you owe. Olivia?
If you like, say I make like $1,000 interest over time, they wouldn't like, and I only had $100 in my account.
That would take you a very long time.
I know.
Like you'd be dead.
But still, if I did, they wouldn't pay me anything for that $1,000.
Not unless you took it out and put it back in. I know it's stupid. Yep. And a lot of people would actually then just shift their money. They'd change what bank it's at. But a lot of people do that in a bad way. Like they'll have a credit card and they'll owe a big balance. And ask your parents to look at their mail sometimes. Like if they're going to throw stuff away or like shred it, ask them if you can look at it first. Because a lot of credit cards, when they send you the offer, they say transfer your balance here for free. They want you to take, say I've got a Chase credit card and I owe $8,000 on it. Trust me, I don't. I would be freaking out. I could take all of that money that I owe and put it on a different credit card. And I would pay off my Chase card. And then maybe I put that on my Huntington card. And maybe Huntington now doesn't charge me interest for 6 months. Maybe that's their gimmick to get me there. So I've got 6 months to work towards paying that back. But as soon as that 6 months ends, they start charging me interest, and now they're making money off of me. So Chase stopped making money off of me, and now Huntington is. And maybe then I again move it to National City. I don't even know if National City exists anymore. But then I transfer my balance over there, and some people just play that game. They're always moving the balance. Instead of paying it off, they're constantly shifting where it is, which is really, really dangerous and kind of nerve-wracking.
Why?
Pranav?
So for the $2, like say if you put $100 in, then they add $2,
Mhm.
and then if you take it out and put it in a different bank, you still have those $2, right?
So you would have to take out all of your money to get that $2. That $2 would be the last $2 in your account, because that's how they set up. Like their computer program says, oh, so you pulled $50 out. You pulled $50 out of this. And if you put it back in, you put it back into there, and you've never touched the $2. Because it's sitting like at the top of your account saying like, you can't touch me until you deal with everything else.
Oh, it's like solitaire. Like
Yeah, and it's like that card that's buried in. Yep.
to take it, you have
All right, we got to move on, especially if we want to be able to play any Mind Trap. So, let's do a couple questions, do a couple problems, then ask me questions. So, this is pretty easy. What's your formula? I equals PERT. P-R-T. Isn't that right, Mr. Sherg? I equals PERT. Really nice grammar there.
I equals PERT.
Right.
that's
So, let's see if Mr. Sherg can figure this out. He's a smart guy. So, Mr. Sherg,
Well, one, you're making something there that's not true.
if you deposited $400 in a savings account, kept it there for 6 years, and got 5% interest, what's the principal in that situation? Because you're the principal here. See what I did there?
So the principal would be $400.
Ding ding, Mr. Sherg's got it. Our principal is $400, but our principal is really priceless. See that?
Actually, I'm a prince and a pal.
And on that, he takes his leave.
Very funny, Mr. Hudson. Very funny.
Carrie, what is... What? You're Ella. Oh, you were just fixing your sleeve? Carrie, what is your rate here? I thought you were looking. So we know we started with $400. It's going to be in there for 6 years. Ah, thank you. It's 5%, but we must use the decimal form, so it's 0.05. Oh, do you? Ashton, what's your time? I'm not taking a shoulder shrug. You should be paying attention with us. Read it, figure it out. So if you deposit $400 into an account and keep it in the bank for 6 years at an interest rate of 5%, what's your time? How much time passed? How long did it stay in the account? Yeah. All you got to pay attention to is what up here has the label of years. And I've watched you back there goofing around with your pencil and whatever. I knew you were kind of not paying attention. Stay with us. So, when we compute this, I see your calculator out, Miss Bowers. Do you know what our interest amount is?
Not yet.
Oh, come on. Fine. Baylor?
20.
20.
Is it 20?
No. At $20.
Is it?
Wait, no, because it's more funny.
Oh,
to
I
do
did
this.
it.
Never mind.
What is it, Peyton?
120.
120.
120.
No,
Good
and
job,
the
Ryan.
and is the decimal
I did
place.
not mean that.
It's $120.
Then you're saying 100 then.
I ran out of breath, so I just said and.
100.
If it's false, cross it out. If it's true, put a check next to it. You deposit $500 into an account with simple interest paying 1.2%. That's a lot more realistic to be close to 1%. And leave it there for 2 years. Yeah. Okay. So every year, you make $20. Yeah, because that's essentially what we did. We do this multiplication, which gets me 20. Then we do times 6. And gives me 120. It'd be 5% of 500. Oh, this doesn't pay.
Bro, roosters is the shit.
So then every year we make 25. Huh? $5 a year. So the more money you put in, the more money that you make. 5% is a high interest rate for investments. If you were taking a loan, 5% is kind of low.
What if you were to just leave it in a bank?
That's like an investment. So, but there's different accounts. So I have checking account, savings account, and then credit card. Like your credit card is kind of just its
I
own
have a
separate thing.
savings account.
Savings accounts will normally have a little bit better interest. But right now, interest rates are really low. Like guys, have you seen any of the commercials where they're like, refinance your mortgage now. Interest rates are so low, they'll never be this low again. Like they've been saying that for a little while. That's because the market is kind of bad right now. All interest rates are really low, which is good if you're making purchases. It's bad if you're making investments. So you used to be able to like put your money in the bank and make money pretty easily. Now it's a really low percentage, so you don't make very much money.
If you're somebody who does like a lot of stocks.
Stocks are different than investments, but it's
don't
similar.
you invest
Yeah, it is an
then the
investment, but
stock
it's a
is-
risk investment.
Okay.
If you invest in a bank, it's a no risk
So would it be
investment.
harder now or no?
It depends on what stock you deal with.
I mean, like you can
Yeah.
lose money.
Like technology stocks are still going pretty well. Like
Yeah.
the advances in like TVs and technology and all. So,
I own part of the.
questions or answers? Who's got a question?
Answer.
For now.
Wait, so I thought for North 350 equals 1.2%. We wouldn't. Okay, never mind.
Lily,
Sorry.
number one here is your I-12,
What?
right?
Yeah.
What's I stand? I stands for what?
Interest.
Interest. So to compute that, you'd have to do the work of your principal times your rate times your time. So you'd have to figure all those out first. So we're tentatively going to say yes because Lily said yeah. Ella, is my P 1.2%? No, because P stands for principal.
Oh.
Is my R 500, James?
No.
No, because R stands for rate. Is my T 2?
So you got flip flop.
Peyton? Yeah, because my time is 2. So if I wanted to figure out my interest, it'd be my 500 times my 0.012 times my 2, which does in fact come out to be 12.
Wait, I thought it had to be by year though.
It is 2 years.
2 years.
Can't
Yep.
you just make? Do you have to like? Because in this problem, you know, it's 500 times 2.
So you could do 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But do you have to do it in the order
No.
that it says?
Multiplication's commutative. Order is irrelative.
Okay.
Or irrelevant. So, remember your percent equation? Part equals percent times whole, what we were just dealing with yesterday? Think about this. The interest earned equals some rate times the amount you invested times the time you invested it. And if the time is 1 year, what does multiplication by 1 do?
It's the same thing.
It's nothing. Hold on. Order is irrelevant. We just talked about the order doesn't matter. I can change the order of multiplication. This is still PERT. It's just repped. So,
It's like without a B.
hey, so if T is 1, I really don't need it.
Rate equals 1.
Part equals percent times whole. The part you make will equal a percent times the whole that you invested. It's the same formula, and both of them are really in the y equals mx form. Because your investment will be some multiple, your interest from your investment will be some multiple of the initial investment of the principal. Hey, Ryan, let's not be a jerk.
It was an accident.
It wasn't. You can't really say that what you said was an accident when you're in 7th grade. All right, so here's our graph again, right?
Well, if it's an accident, then you're okay. You're good to go.
Here is our bit formula.
That's a police
So I equals perp, and now bit. Balance is going to equal the interest you make plus the principal you started with. Bit.
B equals IP.
I like
B ip.
wait,
You know, like
or
B hip. Just B ip.
We don't use that
So-
term anymore, Mr. Hudson.
Like, we use groovy still. What about rad? What about psychedelic, man? All right. So to find the balance. Hey, chill. Find the balance at the end of 3 years. And Seth isn't even here today. Nate, how do I find the balance at the end of 3 years? How much interest have we earned?
6, or, well, hold on. No.
Look at the visual here. How much interest have we earned?
12, yeah, that's what I said. $12.
2 plus 2 plus 2.
Oh, 6.
6 plus what was my initial investment? 100. So my balance now is
106.
$106. Your balance is just the interest made plus the principal investment.
That's much easier.
So, we'll let this play.
I wonder if you might be interested in opening a CD account.
CDs? Who buys CDs anymore? I get all my music online.
That's a good joke. I should use that one.
Does anyone actually still buy CDs? I'm just curious.
No,
I do.
I buy vinyl still.
Yeah, my sister-in-law is taking up ordering vinyls. So
My
like,
dad does for work album.
she just got a Christmas
the
one.
Beach Boys and the Beatles.
So-
and Michael Jackson.
You deposit.
That's weird.
I like
You just named a good artist.
Well, I know.
If you deposit $2,500, 3.5% annual interest. Let's set up our formula. My interest will equal the principal amount, $2,500, times my rate, 0.035, times my time, which is going to change. This is why I like these calculators. Because I can just go back into the thing I just typed and change my time as time progresses. So, after 0 years, right? How much have we earned after 0 years? Yeah, we haven't made anything. We just opened the account, so my balance is still $2,500. If I now make this a 1 and do that math, Pranav, how much interest did I make in year 1?
$87.5.
87. Instead of saying 0.5, we say and 50 cents. So now, my total account balance, I add those two together.
$5,587.
Yep. $2,587.50. Now, I need your attention up here. Interest, when we compute this left-hand column, is how much interest I've made total over that amount of time. So when you look at year 2 and you plug in a 2 up here, I now get an answer of $175. I do not combine these two values because $87.50 was the total interest I earned after 1 year. $175 is the total earned after 2 years. So to find the total account balance now, I take the total interest and add it with the original principal to get $2,675. You, I guarantee, just took the 2587.50 and added the 175. You don't do that. To find your balance, you take the initial principal and add your total interest made.
So you can just multiply
The 87.50. Yeah, because if we know that we're gonna make this 87.50 every year, that's gonna stay the same. This is simple interest. Things don't change.
That was a lot easier than I thought.
So 8750 times 3, or the amount of interest made after 3 years, will be 200. Just give it to me.
50.
No, 60.
So now I add my principal amount with my total interest earned, and I get 2,762, and for the decimal, 50 cents.
And $350.
And then in the end,
Is this bad? Like, how much money they're making is bad?
no, they're making, this is a really good interest rate, and they put a lot of money in to begin with. 2,500, that's a decent chunk of change.
I got $100.
That is an expression of speech, a chunk of change, because back when like real currency was more common, people would save up all their coins. So you'd go out during the day and you'd spend cash money, and you normally wouldn't be counting out pennies for people or counting out change. You just end up with a bunch of change in your pocket. And I still do this when I go out and I use cash. I've got a jar at home, a peanuts jar, that when I have a pocket full of change, I just dump it in there. When the jar fills up, take it to the bank, cash it in, and it's normally like 40 or 50 bucks. And we like go out to pizza or something. Dude, I don't know if you guys understand how much I love hound dogs. So here's what your table should look like. All filled out? We all good?
Yeah.
So here's the question. Using the same interest rate, if an investor has $5,000 and they want to make $500 in interest, they want to end up with $5,500. How long will they need to leave their money in their account? I will tell you. You have the principal amount. You know, you can figure out the interest that he wants, and you know your rate. I want to see if you guys can solve this. So take a minute, try to do this on your own.
The rate is years, so 87.
I'm probably
Did we already finish it?
I have.
Write out your formula. Write out everything you know. If he wants 5,500 at the end, how much interest is he looking to make?
500.
Just 500.
Wait, does he want to make more? Like, is it okay to make more? Is it
Yeah, we're gonna round up once we find our time. I mean, when you get the value, you kind of, it makes sense to round up. If I use my PERT equation, Grace, we set up, well, we know interest is 500, but where do I go from here? 500 equals,
Does it have to be exact?
we're gonna round up. What was the Yeah, the principal investment was 5,000 times, what's our rate here? Yeah, I like to put the 0 in front of it too because I think it looks nice. Then times T. Now, Grace, do you know what I should do next? Zach, do you know?
To get what?
What I should do next?
Oh, I think I do. Oh, I think I know.
If you don't have it, please write out this equation right here. If you don't have it on your paper, because it's going to help you on your homework. You want to pass it off? Noah, do you know what I should do next? Looking up here, what I can do. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, what can I do? Like, there are things I can't do.
So the interest rate is still the 3.5.
Interest rate's still the 3.5, so we already plugged that in.
I guess you could multiply that by the $500, right?
5,000. But yeah, put parentheses right here.
Can't you? Oh, can't
We
you do
can do that. No, we don't need to.
And then you
Distributive would be if we did not know something in the parentheses. We know both of the things in the parentheses. So, 5,000 times 0.035.
I got 175.
Yeah, 175, right? So now we get 500 equal to 175 times t. Now I'm going to take that move it over here so I have a little bit of room to work. I'm all the way through the card, so who can tell me what we do to get my T by itself? Karen? Ooh, not minus. How's 175 attached to your variable, Karen?
Divide.
We gotta divide. So we divide by 175 over here.
I know.
And we divide by 175 over there. My time ends up, what's my exact answer? Anybody?
3 years.
Or 2.885.
2.8, blah, blah, blah. But if he wants to make at least that much, it should approximately be 3 years. Make sure you have a label. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you dogs, cats, pizzas. What? Well, Christmas cookies won't make you any interest, but I mean, they do. If your time is not in years, you must convert to get it there. So if it's months, divide by 12. If it was weeks, divide by how many weeks in a year? 52. If it was days, you divide by 365. Exactly, but we assume 52 weeks and we assume 365 days. So, Alex and Mia, this got nice and awkward in my afternoon class because I have both Alex and Mia in the same class. So they were competing on who has more money. I want you guys to figure out what interest they both earn and then what their final balance will be. How much interest will they earn and what does that make their balance?
But they don't have the never mind. Thanks, Mr. Russell.
Time does not equal 8.
Wait, so do you divide by 12?
Mm-hmm. So to find our time, we'll take the 8 since it's months and divide by 12, which is the same as 2/3, which if you want a decimal, would be 0.6 repeating. Take your principal times your rate times your time. Sheev, do you know how much interest Alex earns?
No, I was gonna say, can we round up the time?
I'd rather you use the fraction 2/3 if possible. If you're gonna round the time up, at least type in a few 6s. So when you have a repeating decimal, you can type in like 3 or 4 of them. And normally that gets you close enough to your answer.
Can we just round like the nearest 10 or something like that?
Yeah, because it's money, always round to the nearest 10th. Or nearest 100th, sorry. You should get for your interest. Somebody know it?
76 point.
Close.
I got 78.
Or 78, yeah.
78.67, because we'll round it up based off that 5. Then if you, the 5, because I get 78.665. You maybe didn't type in enough, so that 5 rounds it up. Then add that with his initial investment, his principal, and we get a balance of $3,028.67.
Wait, what? I thought 77.88.
And did you use 0.6 without repeating it at all? You need to use at least like 3 or 4, because this is really 0.6666666. All like these 6s are important, and as we go to the right, they get less important and less important. But you can't. The 6 in the hundredths place is really important, and the 6 in the thousandths place is pretty darn important. The 6 in the 10,000ths place is a little less important. The 6 in the 100,000ths place. But when I literally I typed in times 0.66666, and then I just I just punched a few of them because I knew it was repeating. Or you use the fraction 2/3. Interest on Mia's account is a little bit easier since it starts with 3,000. Times, what's my rate there?
0.0
Yeah, exactly. And then times still the 0.6. Really, really, really close, so we can round it to 50. And now her account balance is $3,050.
Wait, I have a wait.
Okay, what's up, Zach?
So can you do let's just do Leah's 3,000 times 0.025, and then that gives you something, and then you just divide it by 12 and then multiply by 8.
Yes.
Because that's what I do.
I was gonna say
Yes.
something very similar. Instead of dividing by 8, or dividing by 12 and multiplying by 8, just multiply by 8/12.
Which is the same thing as multiplying by 8 and then dividing by 12. Or dividing by 12 and then multiplying by 8. So yeah, any of those methods would work. Yep. No?
It still answers the question, but really you can sort of see just at first glance that the principal amounts are really...
Here's the thing. The principal amounts are pretty far apart. Alex starts with less money but has a better interest rate. Mia starts with more money, has a lower interest rate. So eventually, Alex would have more money. There will be a point when they have exactly the same balance. So that's all we got for today. Sorry we didn't continue Mind Trap, but this is important stuff. Tomorrow we go to compound interest. No, I will not post that homework today because it is quite complex. So we'll wait to get to tomorrow's lesson to deal with that. It's like what we talked about this morning in foundations.